Hey, Magic fans, welcome back. This is the Captain speaking here on Capnclydes MTG. Today, we're going to talk about Magic sets like, Final Fantasy being the all-time #1 selling set in Magic's history. And where do we go from here? And is there another set that, could even come close? So, before we get started, don't forget, comment, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, the comments down below, feed the YouTube algorithm. You can just watch the channel. That's fine. That's all I really ask for. But if you want to be a member, join the YouTube members of my channel, like my boy Sawyer, for a couple dollars a month. It supports the channel, what I do, box opening series, and all that. You can also support the box opening series in the description by going to eBay or TCG Player to buy you some cards. Also in there, it's anime time. It's the Otaku Shop. Capnclydes the code. It gives you 10% off all your sweet anime needs. Go hit them up and support the channel while I get some sweet swag, if you would. Now, with that said, bingo is also happening on Whatnot every Friday. Next Friday, I'll probably be taking, a little hiatus, as we'll be at Gen Con. Videos will be posted in advance, so there's something for you to do every day. But don't you worry, I will also be enjoying myself at Gen Con, not like I normally do when I'm home alone. Anyway, moving on. So, talking about Final Fantasy, before we get there, let's not forget about this little fella, Diplomatic Relations. So, people talked about how sweet this card was as a common, a green and 2 instant. It says target creature gets +1/+0, gains vigilance. Until end of turn, it deals damage equal to its power to a creature an opponent controls. Basically meaning that if your opponent's got 2 creatures, they can fight each other. Not fight each other, but one can deal damage to the other. Or if you have 4 people, target one creature, deal damage to the other. Seems sweet, right? Everybody's talking about how everybody's overlooked this card and blah, blah, blah. Well, guess what? It's too good to be true. This was, basically wrote wrong, which probably means it was translated, and translated not worth a crap. So the errata's out on this card. Here's what it really means. You can see right here, it says target creature gets +1/+0, gains vigilance at the end of turn, deals damage to its creature opponent controls. This is obviously a problematic wording because the card can target an opponent's creature, making it a pseudo creature removal spell. So the corrected text rules is now target creature you control. That's right. It's just like we all read it to begin with, even though it didn't read that way because we kind of all knew better. And for those people who caught it, who actually read English the way it's wrote, kudos for you. But now it's been fixed, and, the card's going to suck. I take it back. Not going to suck, but it is your basic 3-mana common that's going to do really good in limited, and pretty much nothing else. But hey, what else are you going to do, I guess, I mean, we live in a world of AI and Chat GPT, and clearly they don't make mistakes when they write papers for us. Hint, hint, wink, wink. So I would say expect more to come as humans, we lose the ability to just literally write sentences and let robots do it for us. Oh my God. Is it bad that even robots can't write our language correctly? Jesus Christ. Anyway, so there you have it. So now on to the news of Final Fantasy, the biggest seller in Magic history. It says here, despite the huge sales and increasing production of Final Fantasy 4 separate times, Wizards was still able to meet the demand that brought over $200 million in sales on day one. That $200 million revenue was a large part of what the Wizards and digital gaming revenue segment, which was $522 million. So let's take a second here. Out of $522 million that they made, a third of it, almost half, was brought in by one set. One. People talked about how great Lord of the Rings was, and it sucked when the One Ring was gone, blah, blah, blah. No, they ain't got nothing on Final Fantasy. And Final Fantasy had 77 cards you could find that are expensive, not one. So, yeah. Um, and with that being said, I think moving forward in the future, they'll realize that instead of doing a one of one item, it's better to do 50 or 70 to make every card. I mean, if you put all the cards together, there's 77 of them. I've seen them go, let's say, 50,000 a piece. I mean, if there's 70 of them, that's 10 times 50 is 500,000 times 7. Is 3,500,000. Some of them sell less, some sell more. So basically, it was the one ring, but everybody got a chance to share it, and they were chocobos. That was cool. Everybody loved it. It's a good time. So, what does that mean for the rest of Magic now that, well, we've seen that things that are not in universe Magic sets are the best sellers? Well, hold the phone. So as we look at this, you can see here they talked about at the Hasbro CEO earning call with Chris Cox, Magic the Gathering was up 23% year over year and 32% year to date, foreshadowing the crazy numbers yet to come, answering questions, all that stuff. It talks about here Final Fantasy sold as much in one day as previous best-selling set Lord of the Rings did in 6 months. So, we talked about the 200 million. That is insane. That's how well Final Fantasy sold. And it's still selling to this day. Play boxes are 225, 230 probably by the time you watch this video. Holy shit. They came out a little cheaper than that, not much. And the collector boxes are $1,200 freaking dollars. Like, in the matter of a months, 2 months. Who knows? Anyway, point being, it's insane. So clearly, they're going to go the way of Weiss, right? Which everything's going to be all IPs from every other product. It's going to be like playing Weiss, except it's got the rules of Magic. Well, not so much. So, if only strong numbers were related to Final Fantasy, it would be somewhat concerning. But what we have here is the case as in his prepared comments, Cox revealed, we had revealed Cox. Anyway, that Tarkir Dragonstorm is on pace to become the best-selling in-universe premier set, a.k.a. Standard Legal, and not a Modern Horizons type set of all time. That's right. Tarkir Dragonstorm is outselling Modern Horizon products. Again, that speaks volume. Because remember, Modern Horizon is technically in universe because even though they kind of bring in and kind of take from several planes at once, they are all still in-house or in-universe planes. They are not other people's IPs. And Dragonstorm, a return to Tarkir, probably obviously one of the most popular sets and planes in Magic history. I think it's one of the best. I love it. Is on pace to be the best in-universe selling Magic set ever. And Dragonstorm was right before Final Fantasy. So we are off to the races. So, what does that mean moving forward? Well, we know for the rest of the year, we got a lot more things coming. Edge of Eternities is coming out. We've talked about that. The price has went up, not as much as normal, but the price has went up as much as Tarkir before release, meaning the set may actually make some progress. Me personally, I don't think it's going to sell as well as Dragonstorm. A lot of people didn't like Edge of Eternities for lots of reasons, so the pre-orders were low, so they cut the print run, which is why the demand is high, not because people wanted it so much, but because now nobody can get enough of it, and that's what's driving the price up. So it's a little different, but it could still be okay. Then we have another out-of-universe set coming in November, which is Avatar: The Last Airbender. We all know this is a popular series, and it will be interesting to see if it can compete with Final Fantasy. Now, personal opinions, I don't think it's going to hold a candle to Final Fantasy. It will sell well. It will probably be relatively expensive, but not like Final Fantasy, and definitely not like Marvel. which we know was also coming out the very next after Edge of Eternities, which we know that set, I hate to say it, is going to be another Final Fantasy, in my personal opinion. It's going to be awful. It's going to be hard to get. It's going to be expensive as hell, and people are going to be pissed. And there we go. So there's that. Now, as we look at all this, Edge of Eternities is doing okay, but not really a good in-universe set. So what should Wizards focus on to try to get a good in-universe set to try to perform like Tarkir? Well, their first shot at it is going to be in January with Lorwyn Eclipse. So at the beginning of the year, release date January 23rd, we return to the land of Light and Shadow, which is Lorwyn. Now, Lorwyn has been asked to be returned to several times. Lots of people love it. I love it. However, there is a caveat here. The original Lorwyn set, when it came out, did not do well. People weren't fond of Kithkins. They didn't like the plane. Now, mind you, this was many moons ago. And since then, a lot of Lorwyn cards have went up in price because, well, they're not getting reprinted. And the print run was very low because nobody wanted it. So they didn't do reprints. They just did a one print run, went to shit, and they went, well, let's not do that again, and stopped printing it. Now, with all of the nostalgia in the air, the amazing showing of Tarkir, which is a newer plane that came after Lorwyn. I mean, it was in the storyline, but we never went there until way after Lorwyn. And people talking about how much they love Lorwyn. I think, in my opinion, Lorwyn will be very close to Tarkir. Maybe even edge Tarkir out for one of the best-selling sets of all time. Starting in January 23. I believe that currently, depending on where we see them going, the next few sets all the way to Lorwyn are just going to be bangers. Now, what else we got coming out in 26? That may be not so good. We'll have to wait and see. But starting off with Lorwyn, a return to Lorwyn after 20 some odd years and people asking for it repeatedly, I really think Wizards is finally on the right track, and these in-universe sets are going to perform not as good as the out-of-universe sets, but way better than anything we've seen before. And it's time we're going to have to start realizing that these products, they're just going to get pricey again. And who knows when it's going to stop. So until next time, be kind, and as always, I hope to see you across from the game table. And apparently, with as many people playing Magic now and collecting this crap, there's going to be tons of you, lots of you. A sea of people to see. Sea of people to see. Anyway, moving on.